Excellent ball by Doue, and again it's a Doue, and it's Hakimi!
De Désiré Doué, le cadeau offert.
It's a great ball from Doue. Markler and then again, Doue, brilliant skills.
The name Désiré Doué says it all. In French, Doue means gifted, and he's showing the world just how gifted he truly is. In the Champions League final against Inter, the 19-year-old was unstoppable, a complete menace. He tore through defenders with fearless confidence, scored 2 stunning goals, and delivered one of the best performances ever seen from a teenager on that stage. He didn't just play in the final, he owned it.
And Désiré Doué was almost unstoppable.
It was as if he had been there before. He embodied every moment. With 11 out of 14 passes completed in the final third, Désiré Doué's positioning and decision-making displayed a maturity far beyond his years. He's not just living up to his name, he's proving why many believe he's the rightful heir to Neymar at PSG. But this isn't just about one game. If we take a step back, Désiré Doué, at just 19, has shown throughout the season why he's one of the most talented and dangerous young French wingers in all of football. He skips past defenders with ease, making it look effortless. And that signature cut inside into the box, pure brilliance. He truly reminds me of Philippe Coutinho, a real touch of class. But before we go further, let's rewind a bit because Désiré Doué's rise didn't happen overnight. If you love powerful football stories filled with passion, struggle and greatness, this is your channel. Don't just watch, join the journey. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell to never miss a moment. Born in Angers, France, to an Ivorian father and a French mother, Doué comes from a true football family. His brother Guéla Doué and cousins Yann Gboho and Marc-Olivier Doué are all professional players. So it's clear, football isn't just a passion, it's a family legacy. In 2011, at just 5 years old, Désiré Doué joined the Rennes Academy, one of the finest in France, the same academy that shaped stars like Eduardo Camavinga and Ousmane Dembélé. But Doué's journey began in a way few could have imagined. He had only gone along to accompany his older brother, who was attending a trial. There were no expectations, no plans for young Doué to be noticed. But while his brother trained on the pitch, little Désiré played quietly with a ball on the sidelines. And that's when it happened. The coaches couldn't help but watch. There was something in the way he moved. His balance, his touch, his instinct with the ball. It was raw, natural, and impossible to ignore. They saw something rare, something special. At the time, Rennes had a strict policy. No player under the age of 9 could be signed. It was a rule they upheld firmly. But rules exist until someone comes along who makes you rethink them. And Doué was that someone. Despite being only 5, Rennes made the unprecedented decision to sign him. Because when talent announces itself so clearly, so unmistakably, you don't wait. You make room for it. You welcome it in. And that's how a quiet moment on the sidelines became the start of something extraordinary. But Doué's journey wasn't always smooth. His dream of becoming a professional footballer almost turned into a nightmare. As he progressed through the academy, some coaches grew frustrated with his style of play. They felt he dribbled too much, held onto the ball when he should have passed, and didn't always follow tactical instructions. As a result, they moved him out of his natural attacking role and placed him in defence, a decision that deeply affected him. The flair, the freedom, the joy he found in football began to fade. Playing out of position, far from the action he loved, he struggled. At one point, he even considered giving up the game altogether. But everything changed when he was finally moved back to a more attacking role, where his creativity and instincts could shine. There he began to thrive again. Confidence returned, performances improved, and soon, so did the recognition. He even went on to win youth trophies, proving to everyone, and perhaps most importantly to himself. When Désiré Doué was just 16, something special happened. He got picked to play for the French under-17 team at the European Championship. And that tournament changed everything for him. For the first time, he was given the number 10 role, the main attacking position, and he showed his skills. In his first game, he scored 2 goals and helped France go all the way to the final. During the tournament, he became friends with some of the best young players in France, especially Warren Zaïre-Emery. They built a strong bond, both on and off the pitch. Then came the big final, France versus the Netherlands. The Dutch team had a strong defender named Dean Huijsen, but Doue didn't back down. He gave the assist that helped France score the winning goal. When the final whistle blew, he was full of joy. It was his first international trophy at just 16 years old. Later he said, "Hearing the final whistle and knowing we are champions of Europe is incredible, a perfect moment." In the dressing room, he celebrated with his teammates and even went viral for his dance. But the biggest reward was still to come. His performance in the tournament caught the eye of Rennes' first-team coach, Bruno Genesio. Just a few months after the tournament, Doue got the big call. He was invited to train with Rennes' first team. He worked hard and impressed everyone. In April 2022, not long after turning 16, he signed his first professional contract. Only 3 months after signing that deal, on August 7th, Doue made his senior debut for Rennes in a Derby Breton clash against Lorient, a heated match between two clubs from northwestern France. Although he came on as a substitute in the 73rd minute and didn't have much time to impact the game, his vision and passing stood out. He completed 17 out of 18 passes, showcasing composure beyond his years. Despite Rennes dominating the match with 21 shots, they ultimately lost 1-0. Even in defeat, Doue's brief cameo hinted at the bright future ahead of him. In the following matches, he made a few appearances, mostly coming on as a late substitute. Head coach Bruno Genesio didn't want to rush things. He preferred to let the young talent gradually settle into the team. By his fourth game after making his debut, he was already adapting well. That's when he scored his first goal for the senior team against Brest, and he was the first player born in 2005 to score in the top 5 league. And what a goal it was. A brilliant solo run starting from midfield, gliding past several players with ease. He dribbled past one defender, leaving him spinning, before calmly slotting the ball into the bottom corner. The fans went absolutely wild. After that match, it seemed clear that coach Bruno Genesio had started to see that the young talent was ready. He began to believe in the kid. In the very next fixture against Troyes, he brought him on much earlier, around the 46th minute, for the first time. Although his impact was still limited, he completed 12 out of 14 accurate passes, many of them in dangerous areas of the midfield. Bit by bit, he was starting to fit in. That steady progress earned him his first senior team start in a match against Auxerre. Rennes went on to win 5-0, with Doue playing in midfield, helping create space and opportunities for his teammates. Another big moment in Doue's young career came during the Europa League. A tough match against Dynamo Kyiv. He came on in the 64th minute and made a huge impact, scoring the winning goal. It was a special night that showed he could deliver on the big stage. After that magical night in Europe, Rennes didn't waste any time. They extended Doue's contract until 2026. His talent was now impossible to ignore. Everyone was watching, including Thierry Henry, the head coach of France's under-21 team. And then in July 2024, the dream got even bigger. Doue was called up to represent France at the Summer Olympics, held in his own country. A special moment, a once-in-a-lifetime chance. In his very first game, he did what he always does. He scored. Then came the semi-final, a tight, nerve-wracking match against Egypt. But when the pressure was highest, Doue stayed calm. He delivered a perfect assist to Michael Olise, and that goal sent France to the final. The final was against Spain. The whole country was watching. But sometimes football can be cruel. France gave everything, but Spain won the gold. Even though they didn't lift the trophy, Doue had already won hearts. As everyone in Europe started noticing Doue's rise, the big clubs came calling. Bayern Munich were ready to drop 50 million euros for him. But back home in France, PSG saw a golden opportunity. He was young, French, already proven in Ligue 1, and with Mbappé on his way to Real Madrid, PSG were searching for the next star to lead the future. But let's be clear, signing Doue wasn't just a quick fix. Paris Saint-Germain had a plan. Their top choice to replace Mbappé was Ivica Kvaratskhelia. That was the original idea. But when that deal started to get complicated, their eyes turned to Doue, the boy who already knew the league, the language, the pressure. It came down to a choice, Bayern or PSG, and in the end, it made sense. His close friend Warren Zaïre-Emery was already at PSG. He had already adapted to French football. The path was clear. For Doue, joining PSG felt like the right move. the next step in a journey that was only just beginning. So PSG went ahead and dropped 50 million euros to secure him. But when Désiré Doué arrived in Paris, Luis Enrique didn't quite know where to place him. It wasn't a question of talent. Far from it. If anything, Doué had too much quality. The kind of rare, versatile brilliance that can shine almost anywhere on the pitch. Just like in his youth days, he could slot into midfield, dominate the wings, or even lead the line. He was a footballer without a fixed label, and that made him both a weapon and a mystery. Despite all the hype, Doué found it difficult to get regular playing time. With Dembélé and Barcola performing brilliantly, it was almost impossible to justify benching either. So Doué had to wait his turn. Most games he started from the sidelines. Luis Enrique, tactical and experienced as ever, was still trying to solve the Doué puzzle. In some matches he used him as a striker. In others he shifted him to the left wing, the right wing, even as a false nine. Fans were confused. Why was this Wonderkid constantly being moved around? Why no fixed role? But in truth, Enrique was just testing the waters, trying to find that one perfect position where Doué could truly explode. Champions League group stage match between Paris Saint-Germain and Salzburg. Doué started on the bench, but in the 66th minute, he was called in. This time as a striker, and then came his moment. He scored his first goal for PSG, and later added an assist. In just a few minutes on the pitch, he showed everyone what he was capable of. That game changed everything. From that point on, Luis Enrique started giving him more chances, more minutes, more trust, more freedom. It was the beginning of something big, and just when things were finally starting to go well for him, PSG made a big move. They signed Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, the same winger they had always wanted to replace Mbappe. For Doué, it could have felt like heartbreak. Imagine working hard in an office, proving yourself, and then your boss brings in someone else to do the same job. It hurts, but Doué didn't give up. Instead of being crushed, he rose even higher. His performances were so good that people started to see something familiar in him, a shadow of a legend. They saw flashes of Neymar, his dribbling, the way he celebrated, even the stats. He had the most successful dribbles in the league, and his chance creation was unmatched across Europe's top 5 leagues. In one interview, Doué said, "Growing up, Messi and Neymar were major influences on my childhood. So it was no surprise when fans and experts began comparing his style to both of them. And just to make the message clear, he even wore Neymar's signature boots, a silent tribute to the player whose path he was beginning to walk. But it was the match against Liverpool that made the world really take notice of him. Many say it was the biggest game of his life. It was the second leg, and even though he started on the bench, those few minutes he got on the pitch were enough to show why he's one of the most exciting young players in the world. In just a short time, he caused all kinds of problems for the Liverpool defence, dribbling past players, creating space, and almost setting up a goal. The match went all the way to penalties. Liverpool missed 2, and then it was up to him to score the final kick that would take PSG to the Champions League quarter-finals. What impressed people most was his calmness and maturity. He stepped up, took a deep breath, and coolly placed the ball into the corner, sending Alisson the wrong way. His ice-cold celebration, just like Cole Palmer sent the internet wild, he wasn't just a young talent anymore. He was a star. But something was still missing. He hadn't played for the French senior national team yet. Only for the youth teams. That changed on March 14th, 2025. Didier Deschamps gave him the big call-up for the Nations League quarter-finals. Deschamps said, "He has it all, talent, maturity, and he's only 19. But on his first day, he arrived late. Luckily, Deschamps didn't get angry. He just laughed and made a joke. Still, Doué had to wait for his chance. That chance came in the second leg against Croatia. France were already 2-0, down from the first match. With just 25 minutes left, Doué stepped onto the pitch. And what happened? France came back. They tied the score and pushed the game to penalties. Then came his moment. He walked up, cool as ever, and scored his penalty on his debut. France were through to the semi-finals, but he wasn't done. 1 month later, he scored in the Champions League quarter-final against Aston Villa. He picked up the ball on the left, cut inside and curled it into the top corner. A world-class goal. PSG were through to the semis. And when the pressure reached its peak, Doué delivered. Again, on the biggest stage, in the biggest moments, he stepped up. Across both legs of the semi-final, he was instrumental, driving PSG forward with fearless runs, smart passes, and unwavering confidence. And with his help, PSG did the unthinkable. They were going to the Champions League final. Back in the French League, he went viral for something else. He nutmegged his own brother in a game against Strasbourg. By the end of the season, his stats were insane. 13 goals, 13 assists in 51 games. And remember, he was on the bench until December. Those numbers helped PSG lift the Ligue 1 trophy, his first major title. But the best part, it came 1 month later. The Champions League final. The game every footballer dreams of. And what did he do? 2 goals, 1 assist, man of the match. He even broke Cristiano Ronaldo's record from 2014. At just 19 years old, he helped PSG win their first ever Champions League title. But let's be clear, this is just the beginning. He's already shown he can shine on the biggest nights. So now, the real question is, can Doué lead France to World Cup glory? Because one thing's for sure, he's not done yet. As always guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and hit subscribe for more football stories like this.